Good evening, everyone. In continuation with this general sciences, today we are going to see a few questions related to UPSC prelims. Which among the following is the edible part in rice? Fruit, cotyledons, endosperm, embryo. The answer is endosperm. The major part of the caryopsis, the fruit type in rice, it is called caryopsis. The caryopsis possesses the high amount of endosperm. When you look at this particular illustration, only this part is the embryo and the rest of the part is the endosperm where we get starch. When you look at this particular layer, which is alluran layer, it's very important because which consists of the folic acid that nourishes our brain cells. That's why the unpolished rice is better than the polished rice. When you do the polishing, you tend to lose this hyaluronic layer. In this particular picture, you will see exactly the embryo is very small, but the rest of the region is covered by the endosperm. Endosperm acts as a storage part in a particular in rice seeds, and it will give the more energy when the from which among the following parts of a plant cinnamon is obtained? Leaves, seeds, bark, buds. We know this cinnamon bark. We also call it as a. It comes from the bark part of the particular plant, Cinnamomum zelanicum, Cinnamomum verum. These are the species widely used for this particular spice. Cinnamomum zelanicum from Sri Lanka, Cinnamomum verum from India. Which among the following plants is known as Indian ginseng? Withania somnifera, Datura ceratocala, Hybris amara, Capsula bursa pastoris. The answer is Withania somnifera. Withania somnifera in Tamil, it is called Amukrankiழங்கு, which is also called as the Indian ginseng, have the same property and also used as a immunity booster. This plant is Panax quinquefolius. It's the actual ginseng, and also it's otherwise called as Chinese ginseng, used for the same property, like one of the very important ingredient for building up the immunity. Which among the following is the most common media of pollination in flowers without petals? Some of the plants doesn't have a very attractive petals for pollinators to. The wind pollinating plants doesn't have the attracting flower petals for them to assist the pollinators. So in especially the grasses will have the spike like this. So they'll just dust the pollens. The pollens will be carried by the wind and it will reach the female flower. Even within the plant as well as across the plant, even across the population, the pollens will be carried by the wind and reach the very distant population of the same species. Which among the following is a correct definition of saprophytes? Option A, a parasitic plant that can complete its life cycle independent of your host. B, a heterotrophic plant that feeds upon other living plants. C, a heterotrophic plant that feeds upon dead organic matter. D, a plant that is unable to synthesize a particular organic compound. The answer is the heterotrophic. Especially you will find the saprophytes and the forest floor where the organic matter were abundant, the humus layer were abundant. So most of the hydrophytic organisms, like especially the saprophytes, which depends on the dead decaying matter found in the forest floor, like especially the basidiomycetes, the mushrooms, or mostly mushrooms are considered as saprophytes. Which among the following is aromatic dried flower buds of a tree? The bud, which is aromatic, which provides the aroma used as one of the spice in our Indian culinary preparation. It is black pepper, clove, cumin, none of the above. The answer is clove. We will call it as it is the clove comes from the flower buds, not the complete flower. In the early stage of the flower, as a flower bud, it can be used as a spice. This is how the spice been traded in the market. Due to which of the process in plants the radiocarbon dating is possible to estimate their age. Radiocarbon in the form of different isotopes of carbon, C12, C13, C14 carbon are very much essential in a different form to know about their presence in the ecosystem. But what kind of process which help us to carry out the radiocarbon dating? A. Growth. B. Chemosynthesis. C. Photosynthesis. D. Assimilation. Exactly. The photosynthesis, which provides the enormous data related to the radiocarbon dating. The radiocarbon are there in the different form. Say C12, C13, C14 will be in any level of in the food chain or food web in the energy flow that can be easily be dated, even if it is there in the fossilized form that can be easily derived. Which among the following plant hormone plays most important role in establishing dormancy in seeds? It is prolonging the dormancy. The abscisic acid. Abscisic acid makes the seed dormant due to the unfavorable conditions or if the particular habitat undergone any stress conditions. So during that period, abscisic acid creates the protective layer to protect the seeds from the desiccation, either it's desiccation or against the temperature. So it will make a very good protective layer, so the seed will undergo dormant. So the plant itself, it gets a stimuli to make such a very good adaptation to protect the seeds. When they get the favorable conditions, the seed will give rise to the seedlings. So it plays a very major role to protect the seeds. The seeds are the very important plant pot that carries the generation to the next level. Ripening of fruits is because of which among the following plant hormones? Exactly. The ethylene gas, the ethylene, the plant hormone, plays a major role in fruit ripening. Flowering in long day plants is related to which of the following? Axons, gibberellin, cytokinin, ethylene. Exactly. The gibberellin contributes very much in flowering plants, especially the plants or they're in a tropical countries. They external stimuli they get from the environment. Based upon that, they prolong the flowering duration, especially in the tropical plant species. A treatment with which among the following plant hormones would prevent water loss from the plant leaves by reducing transpiration in times of low water availability, which means in a summer period. So during that period, we definitely the plant should go for less respiratory activity. If they do the normal transpiration, definitely whatever the water content they have in their own cells, it will be evaporated, and the plant options are here: ethylene, abscisic acid, gibberellic acid, auxins. The answer is abscisic acid. For the senescence, especially in a tropical deciduous ecosystem, abscisic acid play a major role because there is a biological clock which will be accelerated in a deciduous ecosystem season. The leaves, it happens in each and every year. So the deciduous forest will avoid the furthermore photosynthesis under the very stressful environment. So they'll shed the leaves, so they'll try to um, avoid the excessive temperature exposure, and slowly in the low water availability conditions. So the abscisic layer will create the abscisic acid will create the abscisic layer, so it will facilitate the falling of leaves. Which of the following is a micronutrient that helps in nitrogen metabolism of plants? Which is molybdenum. Molybdenum, it helps the host to fix the atmospheric nitrogen with the availability of the bacterial association. But molybdenum, the mineral, which the micronutrient, which facilitate the nitrogen, the fixing of the nitrogen in the form of ammonia, and changing that ammonia into nitrate. In that particular metabolic activity, molybdenum involves and carry out the pathway. If the molybdenum is insufficient in the particular habitat or in the particular environment, the leaves, because due to the poor the hormonal activities of which of the following substances were discovered while studying foolish seedling disease in rice? The gibberellins are the plant hormones were discovered during the experiment of foolish seedling disease in rice. The phenomenon in which seeds germinate and seedlings grow while still attached to the mother plant before dropping down to establish themselves or be transported elsewhere is most commonly found in which among the following plants? Which is Rhizophora. Rhizophora is a member of mangrove ecosystem. It's a mangrove plant. It will mimic the vivipary reproductive system. Vivipary, generally it is not exist in the plant kingdom, but some of the species in angiosperms exhibit the vivipary reproductive system. What does it mean? There is no, they produce seeds, they will have the seeds with them, they won't shed the seeds, but until the seed germinates and produces the seedlings, the seed will remain stayed with the plant, with the mother plant. Once the seedling give rise the seedling, once the seed give rise the seedling completely, so then it will eventually get detached. The seedling directly will be fallen from the mother plant and it will grow as a distinct plant. That's how the vivipary will be performed in some of the species of the angiosperm. How does calcium carbide ripen mangoes? In fact, calcium carbide, the chemical compound used as a catalytic chemical to enhance the fruit ripening plant hormone ethylene. It reacts, the calcium carbide reacts with moisture and release ethylene. The ethylene facilitates the ripening process further. This is of the artificially plant breeders. They'll try to enhance the fruit ripening activity of the ethylene hormone. Which among the following is not a carnivorous plant? Given four following options, pitcher plant is it's an insectivorous plant. Venus flytrap also it is an insectivorous plant, and water wheel plant also, which is Drosera, also is a carnivorous plant. The marshmallow, which is odd man out here, it's not a carnivorous plant. A pollen tube is used in the transport of pollen grains, sperm cells, eggs, all of them. Pollen tube, which has been created by system. As soon as the pollen grains landed upon the stigma is the place where the pollen grains arrives. Once it is arrived, the pollen will develop the pollen tube. That pollen tube, which will transport the sperms, that will be slowly penetrate into the pollen through the pollen tube, and it reaches the ovary where the ovule is present. So they'll then further they'll undergo the fertilization and they'll turn to be to end stage. Which among the following is called queen of spices? The cardamom is called as a queen of spices. It's been abundantly grown in India, and naturally there are different species occurs in Western Ghats. The cultivation of which of the plants on wastelands has a potential to generate biofuel in large quantities? The wasteland management introduced the cultivation of Jatropha curcas, which has been used as one of the very successful plant to derive the biofuels in India. Which among the following is correct in the given option? Caffeine, which is a diuretic, is a constituent of coffee but not found in tea. Vitamin C, which is also called ascorbic acid, can be replaced with citric acid in food. Citric acid is used in cola drinks. All are wrong statements. Citric acid is it's not used in the cola drinks. Rather, it will be used in several other citric-based juices. The option B is correct. Vitamin C, it's called as ascorbic acid and replaced in citric acid in our food. Which among the below is not a food plant? Allium cepa, which is onion, Allium sativum is garlic, Asparagus officinalis as a medicinal plant. In Tamil, it is called Tannirvittan Kilangu. Option D is Atropha belladonna. Again, it's a medicinal plant, but which is not used as food plant. It's not Atropha belladonna. This is a plant from the family Solanaceae. Which among the following is not a beverage plant? There are four options here: Camellia sinensis, Theobroma cacao, Coffea arabica, and Alonso grandiflora. Camellia sinensis is a tree. It's a tea. Theobroma cacao, cocoa. Coffea arabica is a coffee. Alonso grandiflora is another ornamental plant. So the answer is Alonso grandiflora, which is not a beverage plant. The rest of them are used in the beverage. From which part of the plant Glycyrrhizia glabra, liquorice, or milleti is obtained? Glycyrrhiza in the scientific name, liquorice is commonly used in trade for Glycyrrhiza glabra, milleti, which is called in Hindi. The root of the Glycyrrhiza glabra has got a potential medicinal properties, and also is one of the very important expectorant and used in many coffee. Apart from sugarcane, Saccharum officinarum, which among the other plant it's been accepted worldwide as a replacement, as an alternate for the sugar? A. Tuna ciliata, B. Gloriosa superba, C. Asparagus pulmosus, D. Beta vulgaris. The beetroot, Beta vulgaris, it has been used as an alternate for sugarcane, because the Beta vulgaris also has got very good amount of sugar. So it's been replaced, since it doesn't produce a effect of sugar level. The red color of red wine is mainly because of the presence of exactly the pigments. The pigments, highly it is anthocyaninic pigments present in the grape fruits that has been carried out until the last product of the wine. Anesthesia, which allows patients to undergo surgery without the distress and pain they would otherwise experience, has been practiced by man since ancient times. Which among the following plant is the most ancient source of anesthesia preparations? Option A, opium, B, cannabis, C, datura, C, cocoa. The answer is poppy flower, opium. Opium produces the morphine. The morphine has been used for the anesthetic purpose since several BC. Which among the following is not a true bast fiber? Jute, hemp, flax, cotton. So jute, hemp, flax, three of them contain the bast fiber, but the cotton will undergo very good process, and it is a product of the fruit. It doesn't have a stem, anatomically stem structure. The jute, hemp, flax or come out from the plant stem, but the cotton it's a product of this fruit. So the fruit doesn't have the bast fiber. Probably anatomically you could see here the bast fiber is presented in the CS of the stem of the jute plant. So bast fiber, which is absent in cotton. Saffron is obtained from which among the following parts of the plant? Saffron is a stigma. Probably when you look at this particular plant, saffron, um, Crocus sativus, the stigma, the stigma part is being utilized in the trade as a saffron. Contains a very good, great pigment. That pigment it's been used in many food colorants. Kernel bunt is a disease found in which if the following cereals? The wheat, probably by looking at this picture, you could easily answer. The wheat undergo the kernel bunt disease. Which of the following disease is found in groundnut? Icky, one of the main cause by the fungi, um, which has been found in the groundnut seeds.